6 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Hassan Gilani. First, the headlines. Prime Minister has announced to observe Day of Mourning tomorrow over tragic deaths of Pakistani migrants in Greece. Defense Minister says Pakistan maintains geopolitical balance among Washington, Beijing and other powers. Information Minister says revival of film industry is vital to project national narrative through screen tourism. On Father's Day today, thousands of fathers have lost their sons to ongoing brutal Indian state terrorism in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. First direct Hajj flight from Yemen arrived at Jeddah today after 7 years. Shehbaz Sharif has expressed best wishes to differently abled athletes who are in Germany to take part in Special Olympics World Games 2023. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has announced to observe tomorrow as Day of Mourning over the tragic deaths of Pakistani migrants in shipwreck near the coast of Greece. The national flag shall fly at half-mast in the morning. The Prime Minister also established a 4-member committee to probe the incident, which will look into all aspects of human trafficking to identify the culprits. The committee will also review process of interim, medium and long-term legislation in this regard. The Prime Minister sought report of the committee within 1 week. Earlier, Prime Minister Mohammad Shehbaz Sharif has directed to take stern action against the elements responsible for human smuggling of Pakistani nationals who fell prey to the tragic incident of migrants' shipwreck near the coast of Greece. According to statement, also he directed the officials of the Pakistan Embassy in Greece to look after the 12 rescued Pakistanis. Upon the directive of the Prime Minister, Federal Investigation Agency had deputed DIG Alam Shinwari as focal person to facilitate information regarding those who lost their lives in the incident and others who were injured. Similarly, Chief Secretary Azad Jammu and Kashmir had also tasked a focal person to contact Pakistan Embassy and Greek authorities regarding the latest information over the casualties and injuries. Defense Minister Khaja Muhammad Asif says Pakistan has no problem with the United States' partnership with India if it is not at Islamabad's cost. During an interview with leading American magazine Newsweek, Khaja Asif said his country maintains geopolitical balance among Washington, Beijing and other powers with whom Islamabad seeks good ties. He said that Pakistan was a peace-loving country and its economic survival is also linked with peace. Khaja Asif said Pakistan's nuclear assets are not for any jingoistic or hostile intentions. Minister for Information and Broadcasting Maryam Aurangzeb says revival and expansion of Pakistan's film industry are vital to project national narrative through screen tourism. Addressing high archives of National Amateur Film Festival Awards in Islamabad today, the minister said government is making efforts to promote Pakistan's narrative, focusing on heritage, youth engagement and tourism through screen tourism. The minister said it is high time to invest in Pakistan's entertainment industry, which currently enjoyed tax exemptions. Sessions of the Senate and the National Assembly will separately be held at the Parliament House in Islamabad tomorrow. The upper house will meet at 11:30 a.m. while the lower house is scheduled to resume at 11 a.m. Besides legislative business, both the houses are likely to continue discussion over the federal budget for the next fiscal year. Foreign Secretary Asad Majid Khan has underlined that Pakistan and Iran are partners in regional peace and stability. He was interacting with Iranian scholars and academia at the International Peace Information Service in Tehran. The Foreign Secretary also discussed Pakistan's vision for peace and development in the region by prioritizing regional partnerships and connectivity. The British government has announced to give an award Member of the Most Excellent Order of British Empire to a British diplomat of Pakistani origin, Fawzia Yunus, for her outstanding services. Fawzia Yunus is currently the British Consul General in Toronto. She has also served in Islamabad. A top commander of Balochistan Liberation Front, Nawaz Ali Rind, has been killed mysteriously in a gunfight in a neighboring country. Nawaz Ali Rind belonged to Avaran area of Balochistan and was a leading activist of BLF. He was also involved in attacks on security forces. Meanwhile, the arrest of another separatist commander, Gulzar Imam Shami, has created rift among militant groups and also damaged the Balochistan Militant Alliance BRAS. This is Radio Pakistan. As Father's Day is being celebrated worldwide today, thousands of fathers in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir have lost their sons to the ongoing brutal Indian state terrorism over the past 34 years. A report released by Kashmir Media Service today said that the Indian unending state terrorism has rendered 107,903 children orphaned and 22,960 women widowed in the territory. Hundreds of APHC leaders, religious scholars, and human rights activists have been languishing in different jails of India and the territory. In India, nearly 100 people have died in the states of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar in the last 3 days due to extreme heat. According to officials, India have been witnessing severe heat waves in the last few days, with temperatures exceeding 40 degrees Celsius at many places. The first direct flight between Yemen and Saudi Arabia after 7 years, carrying 270 Hajj pilgrims, arrived at Jeddah's King Abdulaziz International Airport from Houthis held Sana'a International Airport. Upon their arrival, the Yemeni pilgrims expressed their appreciation for the facilities provided by the kingdom and for the warm reception from airport officials. Meanwhile, U.S. National Security Council spokesperson Adam Hodge welcomed the Hajj flights between Yemen and Saudi Arabia. The Saudi Ministry of Foreign Affairs has announced that the kingdom will co-chair the high-level donor conference for Sudan tomorrow to provide humanitarian support in the ongoing crisis. A statement said that Saudi Arabia would co-chair the conference with Qatar, Egypt, Germany, the UN Office for Coordination and Humanitarian Affairs, the EU, and the UN High Commissioner for Refugees. In Sudan, a nationwide truce between government's armed forces and paramilitary rapid support forces went into effect today, which will last until Wednesday. The United States and Saudi Arabia mediated between the warring parties. United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken and his Chinese counterpart Qin Gang held talks in Beijing to stabilize ties amid a number of disagreements on international issues. It is the first highest-level trip by a U.S. official to China in nearly 5 years. U.S. Secretary of State also is likely to meet with China's top diplomat Wang Yi and President Xi to reopen durable communication channels. South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa, in his mediation efforts to end the war in Ukraine, held meetings separately with his Russian counterpart President Vladimir Putin in St. Petersburg and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in Kyiv. President Ramaphosa called for both the countries to end the war and return their prisoners and settle the issues of diplomacy. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has expressed best wishes to differently abled athletes who were in Germany to take part in Special Olympics World Games 2023. In his tweet today, he said 87-member delegation consisting of both male and female sportspeople, Pakistan has a strong representation in the global event. Shehbaz Sharif said special and privileged athletes will use the mega opportunity to bring laurels to the motherland through their talent and determination. And finally, the weather. Hot and dry weather is expected in most parts of the country, while very hot in southern parts during the next 12 hours. However, dust with thunderstorm and rain is expected at isolated places in Pothohar region, Upper Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Kashmir. And this is the end of the news. For more news and analysis, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.